Welcome back, everybody. This is, in fact, the Infernal Brotherhood of the Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders doing our Star Wars Resistance review. There we go. Words are hard. This is Episode 10, Secrets and Holograms.
Secrets.
This fucking sucked. I felt so bad because, my wife and I, we were sitting around watching wonderful British baking shows, and
yes! I love that.
Oh man, we just barely finished the holiday series. That was
I just watched that last night.
God damn, dude, those sugar domes. Oh,
that was badass, right?
My ass was so clenched, like I could have made diamonds, especially with that motherfucker hand blowing them. Oh my god,
that was the best.
All right, so people, just FYI, that was the most exciting part of this entire series review, or this episode review.
I did learn something before we give the quick review.
Okay.
I learned that I actually feel happy watching BB-8 like just drive around. Like it just makes me feel good.
Yeah, it is very satisfying. Like that's
that little sound.
That's probably the most redeeming factor of this show is BB-8's in it. Yeah. Like I probably would have checked out completely by now if BB-8 wasn't in it. Like that is the only thing that ties this shit into Star Wars for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and this episode, it delved into the Empire. Even. Yeah, it's still just BB-8's
there's no consequence. There's just no threat. There's no point. It's just so drab and dreary and bland.
Yeah.
All right, so the plot essentially is that
there's a plot.
Yeah, Captain Doza doesn't want his daughter Tora around when the First Order come over and deliver their terms to him to leave a garrison essentially taking command, or at least having a part in the Colossus day-to-day station, while purportedly getting rid of the pirates. Meanwhile, Tora wants to get the hell out of there because she's stuck there all the time, so she breaks out with the help of Kaz, who attempts to break in at the same time, and they sort of run around until they realize that the First Order has already arrived, and so they're going to go back into the tower, which I don't understand why, because she was trying to get out.
Yeah, I think she was just bored. Well, I mean, that was the whole point of this episode, was her explaining that she was bored.
Yeah. Pretty much. Just really strange. We saw some callbacks to trash compactors, but it was actually an incinerator, and there was no problem because they played video games a lot, which meant that they had no real harm coming to them.
Okay, that's probably one of the biggest problems I had with this episode. Like, yes, admittedly, this is in the past, like, a long, long time ago.
Right.
But their technology is so far ahead of ours that who the fuck would get in a quote-unquote simulator and go pew, pew, pew with their arms and legs. Like, no. Even in the books, like, long before this shit happened, you had actual cockpits you'd get in where it actually fucked you up. There was real vibration. There was real gravity.
Yeah.
Not fucking Space Invaders.
And that's really what it was. They try to do their best with the show to make it so you'll like it by throwing in little cameos of elements. Like Tora, for example, has sorry, my dog is like freaking out. Tora has a Tauntaun stuffed animal, or it was that space. Hold on, I gotta deal with my doggone puppy. It's just, she just attacked my older dog earlier, like this morning. And I guess they were playing, but maybe it was too rough. She didn't realize, and she actually genuinely hurt her like severely. And so now I'm trying to keep them separate and stuff. But so to the point of this, they try to throw in these little cameos of elements, but it's not enough. You have to have a good story. And I don't know why they're taking so long to tell the story.
Yeah, this is the second to last episode of the season.
It's just so frustrating. So they go to deliver the story. They go to deliver their terms. The First Order's leaving. Kaz goes in to break into Commander Doza's room in order to get the terms to download them to his mini disc, which he does, and then has to hide because old boy from the racing episode way back in the day just happens to be the garbage boy. And hold on, I'm gonna pause this and I'll edit it afterward. I gotta take her out. Give me a second.
All right.
Freya, you need to shut up.
I don't think we should edit this. Let's keep it. That way you guys can hear puppies and ferrets. Mine just woke up, so.
All right, I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I was just telling the people that we shouldn't edit this.
Oh, well, maybe I won't. I don't know.
Goddamn dogs and ferrets. I would like to make a quick side.
Yeah.
I was totally going to call you on naming Doza wrong, and then I realized you're just calling, or you're just making note of the upcoming reveal. Because you said Commander Doza, not Captain Doza.
Oh, right.
He actually was a commander.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize.
I totally did that on purpose.
Oh, yeah, you totally did. I was just fucking giving you credit for that.
Thank you. So he goes and hides in the closet so that he's not found out. And then he finds out that, yes, he was a part of the Empire. Commander Doza, who is now Captain Doza, who I intentionally named that way, was part of the Empire. And no real explanations why. Why would they? They didn't explain why Yeager was in the Alliance. So why explain this other than these were massive events in the galaxy. So it's inevitable that someone would be a part of some side. Weird that these two are working together and they just happen to be in opposite sides.
Yeah, and it just kills me too because with Yeager, I can understand. As far as we know, he was just a pilot. I mean, of course, saying just pilot, whatever. I'm not getting into the semantics of it. But Doza was a commander. He was just barely under the rank of general of the fucking armed forces. Not just the Navy where they just kind of throw titles around because Vader force chokes people. No, this motherfucker was on the ground taking people out and just decided, nah, not for me anymore. But they don't give us any backstory. Just, oh, yeah, there's his rank.
Yeah, in the Resistance Rewind that they released after the episode aired, they said that he was a commander in the Return of the Jedi time era, and that's when he decided he didn't like what the Empire was doing. I guess he just left. I don't know. He was like, I'm going on leave while we're preparing to destroy the Rebel Alliance in the final moments. But that poses more questions than answers. That doesn't explain anything. That's when they were trying to buckle down and destroy this last ditch effort in their way of total domination.
Yeah.
And how could he not know what the Empire was up until that point? He was okay with all the way through Empire Strikes Back, and before that, A New Hope, and then before that, he knew who the Empire was. Come on.
Yeah, especially because I can understand being in the Navy. Mm-hmm. You're in a giant fucking ship. You're not as close to the action. Whereas he was an Army commander. He was on the front line with everybody. Just fucking look at General Veers. General Veers was there. It's just so weird to think that he just all of a sudden, you know what? Maybe this is bad.
I've spent my entire life working up to commander, doing all sorts of unknown tasks that the Empire, up until that point, slavery, genocide, you name it. And then now he has a conscience. Anyway, so he's no longer that, but I'm sure that they have to, if they don't tie that in somehow, I'm going to be so upset. Because why tease it otherwise?
Yeah. This next episode, it's got to be a long one.
We say that every single time.
I know.
They've got to do so much better.
There's so much story throughout this entire season that they did not give us. They alluded to, and that was it.
Yeah.
And especially for the first episode to be a 2-part episode, you would imagine that the finale, they would do a 2-part episode because they haven't done shit with the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, I hope they do. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they will, but...
Well, I don't know. So you clearly were not impressed with this episode.
No, not even a little bit. And I honestly, I was profusely apologizing to my wife for having made her watch this. Like, the whole time she's just like, this is a Disney show. This isn't Star Wars. And I just looked at her like, I know.
Oh.
Because it was.
Yep.
Like, this was the most overtly Disney episode of any of the television shows.
Yeah.
Like, if you would have thrown a Mickey Mouse bumper in there or had ears on somebody, I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference.
Oh, dude, this is, oh my gosh. So my daughter watches, that was weird. My daughter watches a bunch of like Disney and Nickelodeon shows on Netflix. Like lots of Disney ones, you know, like live action, like sitcom 2-camera type setups.
Yeah.
This was like that. Like, I didn't even think about it until you mentioned that. But this whole episode was exactly like one of those sitcoms where there's no genuine threat. Nothing actually happens. It's just a series of unfortunate events that, you know, you could just throw canned laughter over and then, you know, you're happy with the episode.
Yeah. Yeah. This one just straight up reminded me of like Bob the Builder and stuff like that.
Man.
Even down to the animation.
Yeah.
Like, it was...
All right. Well, I was not thrilled with it. I just had this realization that if I can't enjoy the show, I can be happy watching BB-8 speed around.
Yeah, that is
That's it.
so cool that BB-8's still a thing.
It just sucks that that's him moving from point A to point B is the highlight of my Resistance experience. Like,
Yeah.
there's just so many things that could make this so much better if they just tried a little.
Yeah.
And it's like, erase the fact that we're adults watching it. Like, if you're kids watching this, what are you getting out of it? Like, you're not learning anything.
No.
It's not, because nothing actually happens. I feel like one of those aces sitting in the lounge that we just watched, going like, you need to talk to Doza because we got nothing going on here.
I'm bored. Give me my fucking milk, slave.
And that's the person in the movie saying they're bored. Imagine the people watching the movie.
Yeah.
Like, shit, man.
Yeah, it's a tough one to swallow.
This is some bullshit. All right. Well, hopefully next time is going to be better. I can't even.
I doubt it. Up until this episode, I had kept holding on to a slim chance that there was a little bit of hope that at least it would be passable. But it has just completely gone downhill for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe we may not see any season 2.
I fucking hope not. Because, of course, we're going to have to watch it because we're fucking junkies. And then we're going to have to talk about it. And it's just going to be this. And there's no point in negativity. There's enough negativity in the world.
It's true. So I'm going to be positive and end the show. All right. So that's going to be it for this review. Thank you all so much. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts on what you thought of the series so far or just this episode, you can always email us at theinfernalbrotherhood@gmail.com or check out the website, theinfernalbrotherhood.com, for episode information, review information, videos, blogs, you know, whatever. Just
There's
check it out.
stuff there.
Yeah,
Go check
let
it
us
out.
know. Let us know what you think. Thank you guys so much, and until we can talk about the Resistance, until we can complain about the last episode of Resistance, may the Force be with you.
Peace.
What's up, Princess Mimi? Princess Mimi.